Hi, my name is Timothy Conheeney. The date is November 17th, 2012. This is my final project for game design tools at Full Sail University, and I will be doing a PechaKucha on the idea of humanity and an inability to basically get along with each other, which will disallow the ability to get along with aliens because of things that have happened in our past, like slavery or civil wars or wars in general, and things that are happening now, like racism, amongst many other things that people do to circumvent themselves from the other people of humanity. And one thing that sparked this was the general idea of that we could get along in like Star Wars and Mass Effect. Not only that, but that we get along so well that not only are we working together and have left Earth, but we're getting along better with the alien races, which is nice, but in theory, but in actuality wouldn't work. One of these reasons would be fear. Anything we don't know or is unknown, we would probably just kill because it's fear, something outside of our world, something we cannot comprehend, and we prefer comprehending it. And from our history, stuff we do not comprehend seems to just be kind of wiped out. There's also distrust with like politicians. Politicians are the leaders of our worlds or countries, sorry, and they already themselves are paid to lie and are given to lie in general. And from that, how are we supposed to trust anybody else, let alone an alien? And then we also have the beliefs, which from the beliefs we have things like, obviously not to get into God or anything, but things like Hitler and the master race, or the great southern form of that we have, where any race other than Caucasian is not should not be allowed under certain things, which comes to the intolerance, which cultural differences. I mean, from that's 15, 16 races they wouldn't like, however many there shall be, and cultural differences could be like a handshake being one thing in one area and one being another. You could imagine with an alien race where a handshake could mean death or something like that. There's also the superiority or the I'm better than you complex, which is United States. It's a main thing that we have here where we act like we're more superior than everybody, military might and everything, even though we have things made abroad, and that also would make us feel a little bit more towards the side of inferiority, with which in general with aliens that could become like lesser technology or feeling just because they'd probably have like a spaceship, lesser technology, so then we would just basically eliminate them to get that technology as opposed to working with them and going along with that, which bringing that brings in just in general paranoia, which we showed paranoia in World War II with the Japanese Americans putting them in concentration camps when we believed that they could possibly be working for the enemy, even though they have been here their entire lives, except for their ancestors. But it's well before then, possibly around World War I, when they moved over here. Let's have curiosity, which that could lead to very bad actions because we see an alien we might want to talk to, but our general uh, idea would be to, try to dissect them and find out how they tick and all that generally great stuff you see and everything, which actually is the systematic usage of them, because all we would do is just use them. Like if we found out they could just, for example, cure cancer, I mean, yeah, it's a good cause, but instead of just like maybe asking them, we would just murder all of them and try to make them extinct. Therefore, probably by ourselves making ourselves extinct because we don't know what we're really dealing with. We're also very judgmental of appearances, and we just do that based on certain people. I mean, just for general me, just having my ears pierced, I get judged. I could imagine, an alien or somebody with a bunch of tattoos, or someone with a disfigurability. Outside of that, we also have greed, which is humanity will do anything for money. I mean, you've seen Assassins, Hitman, so I can imagine what people would do to get paid for doing things to the aliens or, just in general each other, which that just shows right there that we really have no morale. There's also, which speaking of no morale, government influence, which the other government influences everything. It tells us what to believe, what we're supposed to believe. So, in general, there could already be aliens here. I mean, I'm not going to get into discussion of Area 51, but there could be aliens here. But if we can't trust our own government, it's or we do trust our government too much, it could lead to also a higher form of xenophobia, which right now is just people from other country. But I can imagine somebody from another solar system, another galaxy, another planet coming down here. I mean, those people would just freak, and they might even, the people from the mountains come down and possibly make it even worse than it has to be. It's also the superstition with things like December 21st coming up here very soon, where if an alien ship did land on that day, coincidentally, it would become full blown and could possibly turn into an all out war. Just be over a general superstition like, oh, a cat went on the black cat went on the ladder or what have you. There's also the immigration, which, if you watched District 9 or seen District 9 or heard of it, basically that aliens came here just to, live, and we decided, yeah, we'll immigrate you, we'll just throw you into a concentration camp if we want to treat you like crap, which we already do that with our own immigrants that are just coming over here. But speaking of all this, the fantasy of this is nice, but Wizard of Mass Effect is nice. But in all reality, I suppose it's been even leaving this planet. More than likely, what will happen is what we see in Fallout 3, where we extinct ourselves by not getting along and enforcing a nuclear holocaust on ourselves. And that's why I regret to say it, but I do not believe humanity will ever be ready to leave this planet. I hope I'm wrong, but I certainly consider that we are not ready for anything outside of here, and we will probably be the undoing of ourselves. And that is my